What do you do for work?
I own this business, and then I also do some real estate as well.
Okay. Wholesale. This is wholesale motor car. What do you do? You got your real estate license?
I do not. No, we manage. My dad has commercial properties, so I help him with management of that.
Okay.
I dabble in a lot of things. This is probably my primary income as far as that goes.
Okay, I got you.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, July 26th. So remember how we talked about how Josh and Anna Duggar were broke and there was this big tax lien that was slapped onto the Duggars' property? Well, let me tell you about something, because check this out. It's Tuesday, July 26th. Grab your coffee and tea. This is about to get a little bit thirsty here. So a local, one of my Duggar sources, popped on over to them and I said, hey, what's going on in Duggartown today? Sometimes I do that just to see what the folks have to say about Duggar land. And something they said to look into was Josh Duggar's car lot. Because one of the things that Josh Duggar had said when HSI interviewed him, he said that the car lot was the main source of income for his family. So the nifty thing about taxes in the state of Arkansas is that what? Oh, yeah. That businesses are taxed and they're reported through the various counties in which the businesses are located. So, for instance, Josh Duggar's business was previously located in Benton County. Yeah, Benton County, Arkansas. And he had tax assessments that he had to pay where the county would go in and he would have to report the number of goods that he was moving through and had at his car lot. Okay. So he claimed in 2019 that the main source of income for his family was running through this car lot, and that he also helped a little bit with his dad on commercial real estate. Well, the nifty thing here is that when I popped on over to Benton County, I was actually able to see what the county was assessing his business meaning what the county was taxing him on for the amount of goods in which he had. So in the state of Arkansas, car businesses are taxed what's called an ad valorem, and that is a proportion to the value, in proportion to the value. So used especially of duties on imports that are fixed at a percentage of values as stated on the tax statement. So it's in proportion to the estimated value of the goods stated. So the goods were taxed ad valorem. Okay. When it comes to the taxes on his goods, meaning like each year they look at the amount of goods that he's taxed on and what, he's being assessed on. Check this out. For a business that was supposedly supposed to be supporting his family, mind you, I just want to say supporting his family. Let's walk through this. In 2017, his ad valorem, his assessed value was $1,200 of goods with a total tax of $64. $1,200 assessed value, $64. Okay. That's 2017. In 2018, he was delinquent, which is weird, and his assessed value for his business was $5,300. They had different cost types. So they had an ad valorem one, they had an advertising cost, and they also charged him a penalty. Okay, and he owed a total of $277.69 plus $1.75 in advertising costs and $27 in a late fee. So the taxes he paid were $277 and his assessed value $5,330. This is for his car dealership this is where he's supporting his family. The bulk of his family is being supported at this car lot. $5,300 is the assessed value for the year of 2018. When we move to the year of 2019, they have the assessed value of $61.40. Okay, so it looks like he's building up the business a little bit, right? So it went from like $1,200 to $5,000 to $61.40. So he's increasing what he's selling, but he's assessed value $61.40, and he paid a total tax of $350 because again, he had a late fee and a late penalty. Now tell me something. You're Josh Duggar and you have a car lot where you're selling used cars, spending most of your time, and you spend a year out there and your assessed value for your taxes for the business to pay to the county for what you've sold, $61.40. Does that sound like something that could actually support your family? A lot of people were asking about the shoddiness of this car lot. Okay, so then for 2020, the assessed value, this is after the car lot is rated. Mind you, it was rated in the fall of 2019. The assessed value goes back down to $24.20, and he owes a tax of $126. Now check this out. For some reason, this business still exists and it's current, but the assessed value for 2021, meaning the entire year of 2021, the assessed value remained the same at $24.05, right? He again had a penalty and he paid a total of $137.98. So you've got a business in Benton County that's paying very minimal taxes, that's reporting to the county that they have a small assessed value. This is not a high volume business. They are not paying a high volume of taxes. They're not paying high taxes, period. And again, the ad valorem is for goods in proportion, right? So he's not paying very much. He's not selling very much. He's not making very much. So where was Josh actually making his money? Everyone told me that Josh's car lot was like always dead. No one was ever there. People weren't buying. And if they did buy, it wasn't very much. So you're going to tell me that this company that's existed for 5 years in Benton County, the best year it had for the highest level of tax value for assessment was $6,400. Now assessment is low, right? It's not always the same number as what the total amount that you sold is, but still, you're reporting an assessed value of $6,400 on your best year. So the assessment is the ownership of personal property or business property. So he was saying that he had $6,400 of property and he's paying a tax on that property. So you mean to tell me you are paying a tax on your value of your company was only worth $6,400 in the best year ever? Come on, Josh, you serious? And this is the company that your family's living off of? Does it make you start to wonder why this business looks a little bit, when you go out and you're in the HSI and you're looking at the business and you're like, well, this looks like a place something like shady could be happening? Because mind you, he didn't have the right permits for the longest time when he was located there. He got in trouble with the city for not having addresses or the right driveway, and he didn't have the right fire exits, and he didn't have his phone number up. Like he didn't have the business registered for a while. Like he was in serious trouble with the city. And then when he went into Washington County, he wasn't making anything more there either. So between Washington and Benton County, he's claiming that this business is literally the business that his family is living off of. And you're meaning to tell me that this is the amount he's making? What do you think was actually going on at these properties? Because when I look at this, when I go over to Washington County for the year of 2019, the same business had an assessed value of $18,778. Okay. So in 2019 in Benton County, he has $6,000. In 2019 in Washington County, he has $18,000, which is $24,000. And he had a tax of $882. And then for the year of 2020, the tax assessed value went down to $12,753. So he's got $12,000 assessed values by the county for his business, pays a tax of $599. Can someone explain to me how a man with 6 kids was on their best year, had a goods assessed value for his business at $24,000, and that was his primary source of income for his family. Do you think that Josh was ever financially independent at all? Do you think that Josh was underreporting what he was selling? Do you think that Josh was doing other things and moving other goods on that property and selling other things under the table? Because if that's your primary source of income, how are you affording life? Your business is making next to no money. And that's not a lot, trust me. I mean, like, he's got 6 kids and he's living at his parents' house, by the way. Okay, so this gives you a clearer picture. As 2019 hits, his value goes down in 2020. The car lot has reduced the amount of money that it's making, right? Josh still is paying taxes. Someone actually paid his business tax in April for him, probably Anna or Jim Bob. So if this gives you any indication of his money, he has none. Unless he had other side hustles, like the real estate that he was doing for his dad, which they own next to none at this point. They've sold off everything that they had, and they were doing that during the trial, and I'm assuming that was partially to pay for his attorneys. So at this point, they've liquidated basically all the property that they owned. I think they own like a mobile home on like 1 acre at this point. They don't have a lot of property left at this point because Anna, again, has gotten rid of all of the LLCs. So they have no property holdings, right? Their business wasn't making any money, and now they have a $50,000 tax lien. I would probably say that their net worth is 0 or negative at this point, which again is why he can't pay this. He can't pay this fine, which means the only way that this fine is going to get paid is if Daddy Duggar pays it, or if Josh was doing things under the table and not reporting it. It makes me want to look into all of the other Duggars and what their incomes and what they're reporting for their businesses. And then it makes me want to scratch my head thinking, what are you actually selling? What are you doing at these lots? Are you purposely not reporting everything? Are you trying to lower the number? Because this does not seem these numbers don't seem sustainable at all for someone who has 6 kids, 7 kids now. And that was his primary source of income. And he had employees, you guys. He had employees, okay? So does this make you understand why they're living at mom and dad's warehouse and living with mom and dad? Because they had no income, which further proves the point. Who's paying now for Josh's attorneys? Who's paying now for the appeals? It has to be Jim Bob Duggar. He has no money left. Like, where? He can't pay the fine. He has no money for attorneys. Jim Bob has to be paying for the appeals. What a farce. What a farce of a family. Do you think that Jim Bob was rolling and financially supporting Josh that entire time? I believe he did. And I believe Jim Bob supports a lot of his kids. I would venture to guess that there's very few of his kids that are financially independent, and a lot of these businesses are probably tax write-offs for Jim Bob and the family. Unbelievable. So Josh Duggar and Anna Duggar really are broke, allegedly. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.